Hi, everybody. My name is Lindsay, and I'm a Bravoholic.
You're preaching to the choir. Bravo, bravo, bravo.
Honey, you have to stop saying that.
Bravoholics Anonymous.
I'll try not to hold the mic today.
Yeah,
Less to worry about.
No, you don't drop the mic either. Only with your words.
Only with my thoughts and my words. But this episode of Traitors was a total mic drop. I just gotta be honest.
How so?
I just didn't, I don't know, maybe it's because I smoked a joint before, but my mind was blown the whole time. I was just shocked. There were so many things being thrown at me at one time. Steven getting to talk twice on camera this episode was really overwhelming for me. the whole Rob and Eric duo traitors, mission operatives.
Yeah, I have thoughts about that.
The Dorinda of it all, but before we jump into the hot mess and insanity of this week's episode, I want to welcome back everyone to Bravoholics Anonymous. This is your weekly support group for all things reality TV. And if you're new here, this is a safe space where pop culture obsessives and Bravo addicts come to break down the drama one meltdown at a time. And today I am joined by...
Hello, I'm Thomas, and I am a Bravoholic.
Oh, nice to see you, Thomas. And your hair is looking proper brilliant.
Doesn't it look crazy?
It's
I just got a massage.
It's giving faux hawk. Remember when people would get faux hawks?
Oh, yeah. I just got a massage. Well, first my hair was dirty, but then I got a massage. And you know when you're just you come up and you're like, all right, that's just what my hair and face look like.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It's really, whoa. And that's just, is there product in your hair or is that just natural grease?
Grease and there's dry shampoo in it.
Okay, so there's product.
Yeah.
Whoa, you could really do anything with it right now. It seems very malleable.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe I could do a middle part.
Do not
oh my God.
do a middle. If you did a middle part for the next episode, can you slick it with a middle part and do a little rich boy kind of hairstyle?
Totally.
Exactly, just like that.
And then button this all the way up.
Oh my God! Stop it. Okay,
Oh
you're
God,
killing me. Do you have cabin fever over there on the East Coast, it being winter and all?
It actually was nicer today, and it's supposed to get more warm. I don't believe the groundhog. I think spring is here.
Well, climate change,
cannot
though,
button this
probably. It probably is. It's honestly probably summer tomorrow.
And also, I'm sorry, that's not the same groundhog, right? They've replaced him many times, right?
Yeah. But it's
He's
the
how long do
essence
they
of the
live?
groundhog, you know?
I guess. All I know about it is the movie. Oh my God, that was...
I actually know a lot about Groundhog's Day. I love Groundhog's Day. There you go. Oh, and who's this? Who am I talking to today?
I'm Eric Nam, and I'm a new trader, and I'm really excited to just get in there and mess stuff up.
Eric, were you shocked when you saw that Rob was the traitor?
Bro, I was so oh my God. I don't know, man. I guess I'm gonna do this. This is what happens to nice people.
Eric, how did you feel when Natalie started grilling you today?
I don't know. Rob is laying down, and I'm just trying to breathe in and out. I think I can do it though.
Great. Thanks for talking with us today, Eric. And good luck with the game.
Thanks. I mean, oof. Oh, okay. Oh, man. Oh.
Eric, look like you're struggling.
It's just my first mission as a trader, and then I had my first roundtable as a trader. It was my first breakfast as a trader, and I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. Everything out of his mouth was, this is my first this as a trader.
Literally, Kristen was so angry with him at the end of the episode. She was like,
Oh my God,
you could tell she wanted to like legitimately scream at this person, and she was like staying in her skin the best she could.
I loved it. I wrote down, she better work.
She better work. Well, should we just talk? How was your week? I feel like we need to touch up a little bit, but I also want to talk about the episode. Give me quick. Tell me how your week has been.
My week has been, well, it's only Monday.
Okay, well, last week.
Last week. Okay, yeah. That's a good point.
How has your past week been?
Sorry, my ice machine is probably gonna turn on again.
Oh, okay.
I turned her off. My week has been great. Well, actually, I don't remember. Probably fine.
It's just
it's
melding together.
Week. Right, but I am starting my official triathlon training tomorrow.
Oh, that's exciting. What are you going to start with?
So,
how do you start
tomorrow? So basically, I found this 4-month program that I adapted to what I need, and so, I start tomorrow with, I'm going to do strength training, and then I have a walk/run thing. We're starting very slow.
Okay, good. That'll be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then another day this week I have to do strength training and a bike, and then strength training and another walk/run, and then for the next 16 weeks I'll just do that.
I just hate running. Ugh.
I know, and I hate biking too, but I fixed my bike, which
that's 2/3 of it. Why are you doing it if you hate running and biking?
I know. I think I should just find a swimming race. Now that you mention it,
a what?
I should just find a swimming race.
Yeah. It sounds like you're.
But I like that in the triathlon sphere, I'm the best swimmer there. Not the best. Well, whoa, let me relax. I'm one of the better swimmers there.
Okay.
If I went to a swim race, they'd all be better than me, and I don't want to do that.
I see. So we're doing this for self-esteem building.
And validation, yeah. So my goal is to beat my time from 2 years ago.
Okay.
And my other goal is to not be the very last person to cross the finish line like I was 2 years ago.
It sounds like the only way you can go is up.
I hope so.
Well, good luck.
Pretty sad if I was slower.
Well, good luck to you. Good luck to you in that training. That sounds really exciting.
Thank you. So that's my big thing. What else? Oh, I booked a flight. I'm coming to LA, baby.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm more excited than when Tara and Johnny get a moment together.
Right, and they had a few.
What are you wanting to do when you come to town?
I want to, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe my old stomping grounds. Maybe we should get acai bowls. Do you still do that?
No, but we could do it.
I just miss them.
They're good. They're yummy. They're full of sugar though. They are really high in sugar.
But natural sugars,
Totally fruit. It doesn't even count.
Yeah, pectin, fruit. It's all fiber. Just burns your carbs.
Fructose. It just burns your carbs. It actually just turns to carbs, but yeah.
Remember when that restaurant we worked at together, and right next door there was an In-N-Out, and every time someone stiffed us, we were always like, just fucking go to In-N-Out. Yeah.
I actually don't think I ever said that. But it's not surprising that maybe you did, because you're shady like that sometimes.
Right.
He's like,
if anyone.
Okay, Lindsay.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
The tone of this episode already has me laughing so hard. I
was saying earlier that my hair was so messy because I got a massage, and I just
wait, hold on. What kind of massage?
Oh, we're talking Thai, Swedish, sexual, hand.
Was he naked and pushing a boner into your back?
Right.
Is that just what the guys here in West Hollywood get?
Yeah, I think that's a thing on Sniffies or whatever it is.
Not even Sniffies. I know people that hire a masseuse, and they come and they do a whole massage for you naked, and then you come, and then they go home. You pay and tip.
Damn.
Tip.
Okay, well, yeah, I have gotten things like that on Grindr when I was on it. That is the devil's website.
According to Virginia.
More power to you if you can navigate that site successfully. Never been for me.
Some people find love on there, right? Or no?
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. I just I've talked to my therapist about it, and he was like, well, what do you value? And I just I don't think I can be that girl that just hit it and quit it.
Yeah.
And, you know?
That's fair. Most people aren't. We have natural hormones in our brains that stop us from doing that.
The last time I did that was this guy who lived across the street from me and Natalie when we lived in LA, and he came over and we had sex several times. And the last time I saw him, he was like, hey, my mom is dying. Can you just have sex with me for a long time? And he was crying. It was really sad.
You're such a good person.
You're such a good person.
That's why you're my friend, Thomas. That's why you're my friend. You're such a good person.
God, the last time I was on Grindr, I was just doing the Lord's work. You know?
You were literally a nun. You were being a nun.
I was. Well, with what I was doing, more like a priest.
You could probably volunteer for, what's the place people go to when they're in their final days and they try to make it really peaceful for them and family can come? Hospice?
I was a priest, but this was not a child, to be clear.
Thank you for being clear.
Thank you for being clear. Hospice or palliative care.
I guess in this day in America, you have to be really clear about that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
proud
of you. Are you talking about hospice? Thank you. Yeah. Palliative care?
I was thinking, hospice. Maybe you could volunteer there and you could do more of this service for people.
Have sex with people so they're not sad?
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of a good idea.
Or I have sex with them and they're like, oh, okay, things could be worse.
Let's do it. Oh my God, there's a rainbow outside my window.
Ugh,
it's huge.
Our sun is down over here. Isn't that crazy that we're in the same world? It's the same sun, and it's gone to bed over here, and it's still shining through water prisms over where you are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing. Science. All right, let's do it.
Great.
This is Traitors, Season 4, Episode 9, Trust No One.
Wait, that was the title that you got?
Yeah, what did you get?
Mine was something different.
What did you get?
Think outside the box.
Oh, that's the right title. I don't know how I got that. It is Think Outside the Box. The whole episode is about boxes.
The way you were so serious. Trust no one. And I was like, wait.
That's not the title. Okay. We're going to do it again.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's jump into Traitors, Season 4,
Okay.
Episode 9. Thomas?
Think outside the box.
Nice.
Nice is the name of the episode.
So we kick it off right away, and we have, here's Archie. We have Rob and Eric standing in front of the castle, and Rob has just exposed himself to Eric.
Oh.
Oh.
Nice. Oh.
And Eric is floored.
Yeah.
And
he goes, Rob says the grossest thing, and he's like, I'm the traitor hunter.
I hated that so much.
I hated that.
I hate it when Rob has to say the scripted lines, the necessary kind of story marker lines. It makes me really uncomfortable. And now I can understand why he sits back and tries to be quiet the whole time.
Yeah.
Because the more he talks, the more I get the ick. So he needs to.
Yeah, I have another moment in here where I'm like, ew, what?
What?
when he pretends to be a cat.
Oh, wait, I think people thought that was really cool.
I know, they're like lusting over it, and I'm like, ew, no.
I know, the cat people are... I guess he's got the cat and the snake people now.
Right.
Well, they go to the turret because Obvi, he accepts. Like, what else is Eric going to do? He's not going to die as a faithful. And he's really just going to... He's just a pawn, you know?
Yeah, when he says, I think Rob picked me because he knows that I've been a really good faithful. I was like, oh, Eric.
He's like, I've been really good. I've been a really good faithful. And that's why he picked me. I still think he's, like, loving these men, Colton and Rob. And we go up into the turret, and I think the editors and the producers of the show want to keep us rooting for Rob. And we can see that because now they're showing him strategizing in the turret with Eric. And I am confident that Lisa and Candace and Rob were having those discussions because he doesn't just pull it out for the first time and do it that well. Like, he has to have been doing this the whole game. And it's like, oh my God, the rainbow is so pretty. I'm sorry. The rainbow is so pretty.
Yep.
I'm so distracted by this rainbow. Okay. Anyway, it's like the first time Rob is, isn't the first time Rob is doing this, but it's the first time they're showing it to us in the episode. And I think they're trying to have us, you know, go, look, he does have good intentions. He doesn't want to turn on the traitors because now he's working with Eric. And I think that's like on purpose.
Yeah. I mean, even Eric was like, I mean, what he might turn on me. And I'm like, that is what will happen.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
Yeah. Or he'll just throw you to the wolves, you know?
I think I see this going one of two ways. Rob will make it to the end. And he is either going to win or I just think he's going to win.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. Yeah.
It depends on who he brings with him, but the dagger is probably going to help.
Right. I think he's going to like either use the dagger or maybe even not use it so that like he seems even more faithful. But then that would also be like, why are you so secure? I don't know.
Exactly. I don't know. We're going to have to, or I was thinking if he has the opportunity to use it to save Natalie seems to be like a devout number to him. I know Maura's pretty loyal, but Natalie's like more, she can put together a thought, an argument better. And she feels, you know what I mean? Like she's never going to look at Rob. So he could take her to the finale. I think there's a chance Maura could look at Rob funny after this episode, and we'll get to it at breakfast next. But I have a Bravo moment I want to highlight right away. And for anyone new that's listening, by the way, Thomas and I are going to be referencing Bravo and Hell No moments. These are moments of significance, positive and negative to us. So my first one is when they're leaving the turret and Rob says to Eric, "You look like Harry Potter." And Eric goes, "But the Slytherin kind."
Yeah, I don't think either of them have read or seen Harry Potter.
It made me laugh, and I was like, "Oh, you guys are." Rob knows just what to say to Eric. Eric's read Harry Potter. I think Eric read Harry Potter, and I think Rob says it to flirt with people.
Right.
There's a couple, like Austin from Southern Charm references Harry Potter a lot too. I think it's like a hot fuckboy thing to bring up.
Right. They're gonna be like, "See, I'm like everyone else. I'm a nerd.
Yeah, I'm soft. I'm just a boy inside.
I read books. Like
I love Harry Potter, and I am a Gryffindor."
I haven't
and
read
we're
a book
mocking
since
them because
1998.
we actually like Harry Potter, and we know that they're
Thank
using
you.
our culture.
As a costume.
Our culture is a costume, but minus J.K. Rowling. Like, obviously, we don't claim that.
I'm gonna say, yeah, we obviously love Harry Potter. Hate her. I haven't.
Right.
We
aren't going to get started on it. We will fill the hour. Check your pulse. Yeah. We get into breakfast, and I just feel like the fashion has fallen to the ground. Like, everyone is deep in their suitcase, and they're focused on the game.
I literally said that. I was like, these people have given up. Especially, Lindsay, did you notice the first thing that I saw? Did you see what I saw?
Steven's Cream sweater.
Close. It was very important to you early on. There's
Johnny.
an ick.
An ick.
Mm-hmm. Rob, much like his butt buddy Colton, is wearing a sweater vest with nothing underneath.
I know. And that's why I wore a sweater vest with nothing underneath, to save it for people that wear sweater vests from these men.
Well, now you have to do it again because he ruined it again. That's why I wore army pants and flip-flops.
You're right. We need to be strong and we need to represent. But also, I hate it.
Yeah, I hate it.
When I had to edit that whole episode of me wearing that sweater vest with no shirt underneath, I hated it.
It's not a great look.
Also, I dyed my eyebrows that same episode, so it was just double bad look.
Oh, right. How are those doing, by the way?
They're doing really well. What do you think?
Oh yeah, they're great.
This is them
They
filled
haven't
in.
gone back in yet?
This is like them filled in and stuff. But what?
And your hairstyle's really giving.
You like my like 90s half up, half down?
Yep. When you come visit me, we're gonna have to do your hair.
We're gonna put so much blonde in it.
I did my coworker, my friend's hair the other day. I took her from like dark brown to blonde, and she tied my record. It was 6 hours. I need some water.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy? Hey Audrey, if you're watching.
That's crazy. Hi, Audrey. Thanks for supporting us. If you could like and review this podcast on however you're listening to it, it would really help us out. Thanks, Audrey.
From my countertop ice machine, much like the one seen on the Valley in Janet and Jason's home.
Janet and Jason's kitchen. What a flex!
Tie-in.
What a flex to show off your Janet and Jason ice machine.
If you want to hear us recap the Valley, go listen to that. Oh my God, I forgot my hair was like this.
You look special. There you go. You got your cup of water. You're all ready.
Already.
Okay.
I did like Mark's outfit.
Yeah, Mark looks fine. I mean, if I saw him on the street, he looks cool. He looks like he's gonna do like some kind of weird dance number, and then he should be wearing like those gangster shoes that are part black and part white that they'd wear with like a pinstripe suit, but like his pants are super baggy, and he's gonna do like a foot spin kind of dance move.
Like a zoot suit, and then he does.
Yeah, he's giving zoot suitor.
Did you see him do it later on?
No.
I wrote it down. It was really cringy. He like closes the door to the castle and then like whips around.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I was like,
I
ew,
don't
that was
like
so cringy,
that. That's not my favorite
I would
fashion style. I mean, it is a look, but it's not something I like. And just because he put together a look doesn't mean I'm gonna highlight it because I hate it.
Okay, well, I liked it, but I didn't like
what about Tara's little outfit at breakfast? It's so cute. She's got this little brocade and denim like 2-piece and then a cream turtleneck underneath. She looks sweet.
It's fine. Sure.
Okay. Well,
it's just not a moment for me. I wrote down Maura was fine. I liked Johnny's
Everyone
sweater.
was fine. It was kind of boring.
I liked This is the best Natalie's looked. I like her outfit.
It's another body. I can't do her fashion at all. It's another wrestling suit. It's always a wrestling suit.
Well, if you had that body, would you not wear a wrestling suit every day?
No, I would not.
Okay.
I would have to consult.
I would.
I wouldn't know how I would dress that body, but I'd consult a stylist to tell me.
The second I get abs, you're never gonna catch me wearing a shirt.
I hate that. I don't want your skin cells all over. Okay.
Actually,
that's
how I blind people.
Skin cells.
I would blind people if I was shirtless. You're right.
Yeah, it would be a safety hazard, and you'd probably be at least fined by the city traffic police a couple times.
I wonder if that is against the law. I don't think it is.
Well, what should be against the law is coming for Johnny, because from the jump, Kristen, Rob, and Mark enter the table, and they're excited to talk game, and they all just start strategizing about going after Johnny. And you all know what Johnny Weir means to me, and he's just such a sweetie pants. I can't hardly bear them coming for him. And Rob tells the group he thinks if he recruited, it was Tara. And he's basically setting up like 2 markers to make him safe for the next 2 roundtables to bring him into the finale. He's looking to secure pieces, and Kristen and Mark are totally on board for it because neither of those people are them. And now that sets up the day about how pretty much Johnny and Tara are going to be up against the house. And as they all come into the breakfast table, Johnny opens up about his proximity to Candace and how he had no idea and how he thinks it's like painted kind of a target on him and he feels used a little bit. And he's trying to like save some face by talking to the group, but they're just a bunch of like hungry sharks at this point. So there's not much he's going to say that's not just going to make them feel more righteous about their choice to target him.
Yeah. This is why I think Rob is going to win, because I think they're going to go after Johnny and Tara at the next roundtables. And then when they're like, it's neither of them, then Kristen's going to be like, we need to get Eric out. And he's going to be like, yeah, totally. And then when they get him out, they're going to be like, great, we did it.
Exactly. That's what I think they're going to do. Although, and I think the next murder they're going to do tonight will probably be Natalie, just because they were discussing it in the turret. And they're like, Eric was like, you have 2 more nights to get rid of her. But then again, I think Natalie would keep Rob at the end, so maybe he'll bring Natalie.
Right.
He can't bring Kristen. He can't bring Kristen.
Right. I think, although he did say that if they chose Kristen, it would implicate Eric. But, and Tara, whatever, we can talk about that later.
Okay.
We can talk about at the end about who we would murder and why.
Okay, sounds good. Well, Johnny, so then Maura, bravo moment for me. Maura looks at Rob and says, I thought it was going to be you because Candace voted for you before she left. And then Rob goes, I think she did that to help the other traitors that were left. And then Maura's like, and then Maura looks at him and goes, yeah.
Yeah.
And Thomas, do you think Maura just figured out that he's a traitor? Do you think Maura just figured it out?
I hope so, because he was like, and I don't think it worked. And I was like, ooh, cocky. And her face, she paused. She was like, yeah. Either she's figured it out or she was
trying to process it and she couldn't.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
Or she was like, oh my God, Rob just talked to me. Yeah.
She's like, he's hot.
Either she's an evil genius or, yeah.
He is hot. It's very hard.
I mean,
I can't imagine.
Sure, he's pretty in the face. He's pretty in the face, but he needs product in that hair. He needs a groomer.
Thank you. But honestly, if he got one, then he'd be unstoppable, and that's really dangerous for us in society.
He already had a bad gay stylist who put him in that Botticelli, not even corset. It was
the
like
front was great. The back, horrendous.
It was like a placemat more than a corset, yeah. You know, he didn't pick that out.
Definitely not. They were like, you have to do something. And he was like, okay, great, I'll do this. Well, Eric and Rob eliminated Dorinda. And in her envelope opening, when she's being murdered, I couldn't help but die laughing for 2 reasons. The first was she said murdered at the she like emphasizes some like she's trying to do a Scottish accent but also like threw in some extra D's or something, and it was like yeah. I replayed it, I was like, what was that? What was that?
Murdered.
And then she clearly says that, you know, she still wanted to stay.
It's like, right, but you can't.
Because she is constantly just like, you know, I wish I could have stayed. Like hoping someone's going to just change their mind in that moment for
Looking
her.
around at the camera crew.
She's like, I just want to be clear. I did want to stay. But I know I have to go back to my Bluestone Manor and like Plugsar Manor again.
What is Bluestone Manor?
She has this in the Poconos or something. She's got like a manor, like an old estate, and it's a historical something or other, and the housewives in the past have gone there, and that's where she iconically was like, I just tried to make it nice. That's like her tag, like one of her signature phrases from like a meltdown she had when they were all staying with her and weren't like appreciating her efforts as a hostess. And she's been trying to get like a spin-off reality show there for a while now, and I believe on this year is the Housewives anniversary, like 20th anniversary, so they're doing an ultimate girls trip with like an all-star lineup of housewives, and I'm pretty sure they're stopping at multiple locations. I think one of them is Bluestone Manor, so it's like Bravo's kind of rewarding Dorinda, Peacock's kind of rewarding her and like throwing her a bone here and there with the stuff, keeping her relevant, her property relevant. She's trying to do like a Lisa Vanderpump thing. That's what she's been trying to do for years.
Wow. An ultimate girls trip. That, I'd watch that. Knowing no one.
You should.
Okay.
I support this.
Okay. Yeah.
So anyway, I thought that was great. And I was like, okay, bye Dorinda. Like, your time has come. You can't make it to the finale. That would not be fair.
Yeah, sorry, sis. Yeah.
It would not be fair to anybody.
Right.
Okay, bye Dorinda. And okay, so after
Did you hear that? Oh.
yeah, I heard that.
You
What
did?
was that?
I muted it. I thought I
No, you did
correctly.
not. You farted on
Oh, because my headphones. Yeah, sorry.
Well, your headphones. I shouldn't be able to hear through your headphones. What do you mean?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I muted the microphone. I thought that was enough.
So anyway, after breakfast, Tara and Johnny pull each other aside, and I just love them. They're so sweet. They're clearly best friends, and like this episode, they can't even bear being away from each other anymore. Like they've gone 8 days. They're on like day 9 or day 8 or whatever at this point, and they're like, we don't care. We have to talk to each other. Like, we can't hide this anymore. And the whole episode, we see them like being undeniably together. And it's giving a little codependent. It's giving a little trauma bonded. It's giving a little like best friends. It's giving all those things. And so it tugs at my heartstrings the entire episode. I'm like hypersensitive to them.
Yeah, I love them. This would be us if we were on the show.
I know. Except I would be way more outspoken and way more mean to people than Tara.
Yeah, and I'd
like,
probably be just as bad at this as Johnny.
Well, you would bottle it up until you snap. Then you would just splur it all at one time, where I would be like walking around the house and everyone would think they're on eggshells around me or something, even though I'm just like thinking.
And I'd like to think I'd be a little bit better at the challenges than Johnny, but yeah, no, this is I'm seeing us reflected on the screen.
I know, I know. And I feel so sensitive. I'm like, oh my god. Like
Leave them alone.
Like literally when we get into the competition, I'll like when they get into the competition and they start picking on Tara, and you could tell Tara feels bullied.
You called me crying.
And Johnny clearly sees her and is like knows that she does not like that what's happening, and they keep saying her name, and he feels bad for her too, and so they're like united. They keep voting for other people because they don't want to. Johnny doesn't want to hurt Tara's feelings anymore and put her name on a thing, and she doesn't want to play the game, like Traitors game, and like she feels attacked. It's so funny.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. I was so sad. I called you and I was like, I'm crying for Tara and Johnny. And you were like, I'm in the middle of the competition right now. And you had no idea.
I fully was like, what are you talking about?
Oh my God. Well, okay. So Tara and Johnny pull each other aside and they talk about how they think Steven's a traitor, and like Tara says they have to find their allies and talk to them today, and Johnny says that they need to find evidence. And so that's kind of like where we leave off on their strategy going into the rest of the day. And then they kind of leave the room, and Tara's like, they picked the wrong girl to mess with her best friend. And I was like, yeah, Tara.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so cute. They picked the wrong girl. I was like, yeah.
And And then is it right after that she goes to Kristen, or do they cut to?
Yeah, no, she goes to Kristen. She's like, we gotta find our allies. And she pulls Kristen aside and is like, Kristen, I really trust you, and I have a strong gut feeling that it's Steven. And Kristen's like, I just want to be clear. There's been this hesitation in me. Like, you seem scared all the time. And Tara goes,
right.
Yeah. She goes, yeah. So,
yeah.
So say
who do you think it is?
So say who do you think it is? Or if it's me, that's okay.
That's okay.
Too. And she's like, it's you.
Yeah. That was a Bravo moment for me because Kristen was being so nice about it. She was like, I don't know, maybe just because like I gravitate towards confidence and you don't seem confident. You seem kind of scared. And she's like, right. So who do you think it is? Just like, I just love how like sweet the conversation is and how like oblivious Tara is. And at the end of the conversation, she's like, all right, so
that's why
it's not going to be with Kristen.
I literally put hell no because of it. Like, this was a hell no for me. I felt so bad for Tara. Like, I don't think Tara's that stupid, but I think she, like, I think what the problem here is that she actually fully trusted Kristen. She fully trusted Kristen and thought they were on the same page, and she totally read it the wrong way. She, like, Kristen's loyal to other people more. And I just think Tara had a thing going with Candace too, and like she has Candace and she has Johnny, and maybe she thought Kristen was like her third or her fourth, and it just hasn't worked out, you know, with the way people have gone in the show. So it's just so funny and so embarrassing, like so embarrassing.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was a Bravo, just because I thought it was really funny. But my first hell no moment was right after that when we go to, I think it's Maura, Rob, and Eric in a room strategizing. Mm-hmm. And Eric's like, yeah, Rob is just splayed out, so relaxed. And I was like, yeah, he's like man spread. Because
Wait, that's my Bravo moment.
Oh, God.
We are
Why?
complete opposites. I thought Eric like totally crushing on Rob splaying out on the couch. Like, come on. This guy is out, right? Like, Eric, can you look it up? Is Eric Nam is out, right?
I can look it up.
If not, I was like, he needs to dance on the spectrum more that we all live on, because
he needs to dance on the spectrum.
I think he's like, he's crushing after these men.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was funny.
Or at least it's giving like
boy
crush, where he's like, wow, he's just so confident. Like, I want to be confident.
He's been doing this the whole time. Yeah. And it's so funny because you look over at him and he's like so nervous, sitting right up.
I know.
He's like, yeah. And Maura's like, so I think that it was her department.
Yeah, well, Maura's
sorry, that was so crazy.
Since Ron Funches, Maura's done a good job of like every day she announces her target, and it hopefully aligns with the guys that she's hoping that kind of carries her across the finish line. I really want to see Maura step up. I want her to give us like a Gabby moment,
right?
Where she's like talking to the group and like nails something groundbreaking. I really want Maura to like get the Gabby, but I don't know if she's gonna pull it through or pull it off.
I don't know. Okay, wait. It's not saying anything on Wikipedia.
It doesn't say on Wikipedia?
Right. Oh, apparently he does not.
Maybe he just hasn't disclosed his preferences.
Right. It's giving that.
Okay. Well, in that case...
Well, the boys all love each other this season.
They really do. And it's hilarious that, like, Eric is being such a dweeb about it. And he's like, wow, look at that. Look at how comfortable and confident he is. It's giving Saltburn.
Oh, yeah.
Candace made a bathwater reference, but this is the real Saltburn relationship here. It's Eric and these guys. For real.
I did like, though, when they were getting in the cars to go to the mission, that Johnny was, I think it was Rob. He was in the car with Rob and Moira, and he was like, "Yeah, I know that you guys were talking about You Think It's Me with Natalie, right?" And I was like, "Yes, why not?" And they were just like, "Yeah, there's no like name I haven't heard." And I was like,
No,
ew.
it was really, I'm really happy that he felt the room out there and tested the water, because he had to know, like, is he the 100% who they're going after, or is there still somebody else and maybe they're willing to work with him? And I think this told me that they are not willing to work with him. His head is on a chopping board right now.
And I like that he said that he was like, I'm like so up against the wall, I feel empowerment in it. And I was like, yes.
Go, Johnny, where are you, Olympian? You got this.
You Olympian, you've done harder things than this.
That's right. I'm rooting for you.
Oh, and speaking of J.K. Rowling, I loved Alan's trans flag hair throughout the episode. That was fun.
Okay, yes. So he's doing a nod to the trans community, and he did the trans flag, the white, the pink, and the blue in his hair, and it looked really cool. I actually really liked it. And then, the suit was awesome. I didn't think it needed to be covered in glitter.
Yeah.
And I would never say that. I love glitter, but I just think it was too much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, aren't you like bedazzling things now?
Just sometimes when I'm editing the podcast. Yeah. I like to bedazzle. I've been working on my murder jacket. Inspired by Alan's sweater vest that said murder in jewels. I'm doing it on a faux leather jacket.
Did you see what I sent you about that?
No, what?
So the designer of the murder, like, it was commissioned from this designer, and she like made it specifically for him. And now Peacock is selling shirts of that merch. And she was like, "Excuse me, that was my design."
I didn't know that, and it makes sense because it was her design. But the T-shirts they're selling are garbage. They are literally just screen printed black letters. I think Lisa Rinna was wearing one in a TikTok video recently. Like, I really didn't like the Peacock ones, but I am literally imitating the sweater vest on the back of a jacket because I have to have it. I have to have it.
Right, and you're not selling it though. Like, that's the difference.
No, it's just for me.
But
we get to the competition, and I just, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Why?
Thomas, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
That's okay, girl. Sit down. How long since your last confession? Right?
I don't know. But when this challenge started and Alan said that the traitors were going to have to like get out of their boxes and meet in the middle, to talk about who they were going to pick, I immediately, deep within me, wanted Rob to take all of his clothes off so that he didn't make any noises getting out of the box.
Oh, wow.
Don't you think that would have been, Father, don't you think that would have been a much better choice and a sensible thing so that they weren't risking like a shoe falling or whatnot?
3 Hail Marys and I'll see you on Sunday. Front row.
Front row.
Yeah, I
was like, Rob's gonna take his shirt off. What?
That is wild that you thought that.
I know, because you know me. That's never my first inclination for things like this. But the second they did it, I was like, huh.
I wrote down that like this is like crazy unfair because like everyone's gonna be listening for boxes. I think there was some production buffoonery. I don't think the people were in the boxes while they were talking.
Same. I looked at all the shots and I suspected the exact same thing. I'm like, they're not going to let this happen and let this risk. What they probably did was brought Eric and Rob back like the next day because they do film things in different timelines. So I feel like they did Alan standing out there, got the drone shot, the wide drone shot of Alan with the boxes, got those like things, then brought the cast in, introduced the competition to them, showed them all, filmed them all getting inside their boxes, and then took video of them inside their boxes, sweating it out, and then giving them a break in between each one, and then announcing who the traitors picked. And then afterwards, sending people all in different directions to freshen up after the challenge before going back to the house. And using the two traitors like to get their coverage of who they were voting for each time. Because those wooden steps, their shoes, they didn't make solid stairs. You would hear doo 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 walking down those wooden steps every time you crawled out.
And you would hear that box opening, and I'd be like, okay, that's the one next to me. That's Rob. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they're not going to risk that. Yeah.
No. And I'm sure it was easy to just tell Rob and Eric, like, pretend that you're sneaking out. Like, go as slow as you can.
Yeah.
For these. Yeah. You know what I mean? Otherwise, and also, wouldn't they be fucking sweaty? Open the lid back up a couple minutes later, and they're, like, sweating because they just had to crawl in and out and do this, like, nerve-wracking thing. I'd be like, well, Rob's covered in sweat.
Yeah.
It must be Rob. I heard his box open, and I heard him walk up the stairs, and he's really sweaty. So I actually thought the same thing. I'm glad you picked up on that.
Yeah, there's no way.
Well, what did you think about this challenge? What did you think about the strategy of saying Tara every time? Because even though it was risky, it was a Bravo moment for me. It was so funny.
Yeah, no, it was smart. It was really funny. And there was one point where they did like a quiet dap up, and I was like, oh my God, these fucking bros.
I also thought,
quiet dap is crazy.
I also thought that, like, if Maura didn't catch on yet that Rob is a traitor, it's wild. Because this joke of doing Tara every time actually feels very specifically Rob's sense of humor.
And he was like smiling. They like showed him like smiling during some of it. I'd be like, why are you smiling when losing money? Sir?
Exactly. Like, I think he just had his guard down so much.
I think he's getting cocky. But I thought it was so funny when the last one where they were like, let's just all do Tara. And Johnny and Tara were like, oh my God. Okay, sorry. No, guys, I didn't know that. So they look even more guilty.
I know, like, but they were. It's because they were doing this hiding their best friend thing, and it's like, so they were. But they also, like, Johnny wanted to show that he was like there in solidarity with Tara, and Tara was clearly affected by this. I mean, how could you not? Thomas, you would lose your mind if we all did this to you during this game. You would be so angry.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
but,
okay.
I get why they did it, but the fact that they were the only two to not do it was so funny that they were all like, Mara was like, okay, noted. Like, oh God. It was
I just
so
really
funny.
think it was like, at a certain point, it was like, oh, they're just picking me every time, and then they don't get their hands bloody, and they don't have to pick anybody else. So it'd almost take away anything that would affect me if I was Tara. But Tara doesn't take it like that. Tara's hurt.
Yeah, I would almost be like, well, obviously this is a strategy, and they don't really think I'm the answer for each one of these. So by the third time, I'd be like, oh, okay, they don't actually think this. Yeah. But one of my hell no moments was Rob's cat impression. He did that thing where he looks at the camera and he's like, "But I'm nimble and agile like a cat." Yeah. Hated it.
But I'm quite nimble and agile, like a cat.
I'm sneaky.
Meow.
Yeah. Fucking meow, dude. Yeah.
Like, I hate dogs. So I'm a cat. Meow.
I'm a really good representation of the South.
What does Flynn Rider do on Tangled?
I don't have to do
Smolder.
this. Time to break out the smolder.
Meow. I like snakes. Meow.
Now, if Steven did that, ooh.
We would have died. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about how we got Steven talking on camera twice this episode.
I'm so happy for him.
And they were really good moments for him. Like, you know, strategizing, showing his brains. For once, they finally give us that for one episode. God damn it.
Because he, spoiler alert, leaves. Yeah.
It was just, no.
That's why I'm in
Everyone
black. I'm in mourning.
Oh. Yeah, let's play the
That's why
bagpipes. Let's play the bagpipes.
Oh my god, I missed some hair here.
Well, okay, what else happens in the competition?
Nothing really. It was quick. He was like, there'll be 4 questions. I was like, that's it? Okay.
Yeah, it was fast, and the information was useless because it was just always Tara as the answer. But in the car ride home, Natalie says that she can tell Johnny is a faithful based on his energy and how he is after the competition. And I also think this is Natalie. Natalie's trying to form an alliance in this car. She's like, all of us were marked, and I think we should all work together. And it's smart because this group of people is the opposite of her group that she's been working with so far. So if she could form some kind of an alliance with these people, then it would be great for her game. She'd have numbers in her favor.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't really take it. They don't really take it like that, though. They don't really take it like this is an alliance. But I could see that's what she was prompting for in the car.
Yeah. So it's Natalie, Kristen, Tara, and Johnny are shortlisted for murder. So yeah, she's like, yeah, let's stick together, and that does not go to plan.
No. And then back at the house, Mark, Rob, and Maura are having lunch and talking about how they suspect Johnny and Tara. And then literally Johnny and Tara walk in arm in arm together.
Yes.
And they're like, oh my god, they just walked in arm in arm.
Scarecrow.
I honestly think that's like way too... If they were both traitors, they wouldn't be walking arm in arm. Like, I have a feeling that these faithfuls just want to get these two out because they're clearly like an alliance for each other. Like, they're very close. Right. I don't think it has anything to do with them suspecting traitor activity, you know?
Especially if and when they banish one of them and they are revealed as a faithful, that it's going to be like, why get the other one out then? I don't know. Like, yeah, it's weird. I think, and Rob was like, well, yeah, they should go for them because they've clearly been lying this whole time about being friends. What else are they lying about? And I'm like, shut up. You know they're not traitors.
Rob just wants to stack as many people up to go at the table so that he's not suspected and never needs to use the dagger or anything. But I think he needs to use that dagger to show like that he's worried, or fight for a shield or something, you know? Be like, I've never asked for a shield, but I want the shield this time, or something. Like, that seems faithful-ish. That way, Kristen and Mark won't be too on to him.
Yeah. And I love that one of my Bravo moments is after the mission, before the roundtable, Johnny and Tara are like, you know what? Let's just be a team. Let's just be us, okay? Like, forget it. We're, like, on the way out. Let's just be us. And like, yeah, let's do it.
I loved it, too. It was so us-coded.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, they're finally together.
They're like, you guys just don't deny your friendship. Be best friends. Yeah. And you can tell how much happier they are just supporting each other. They're honestly both like, okay, I'm fine going as long as we, like, neither of us are really humiliated on this show.
It's a little, I mean, it might be a little late for that, but Tara was literally like, should we just leave together?
Literally, like, and they're both like, yeah. Like, the codependency is so real. I don't want to be here by myself. And like, if they're coming after you, like, we just need to support each other. We need to, like, tell them to shut up.
You promise? Yeah, I promise. Yeah.
They're so cute. I just love them so much.
And then I wrote down, Kristen is now going for Tara. Like, these faithfuls are really bad.
I know, like, they're really bad.
Like, I mean, I know Kristen is very smart, but like, she hasn't been right yet.
I know, she's not that smart.
I mean, like, spoiler alert, we know that she's finally right about Eric, but like, yeah, I would say she's smart and she seems intuitive and she makes me believe her. Like, when she talked to Tara and was like, it's you, I'm like, yeah, maybe it is.
No, it's so clearly not Tara. Like, Tara's shitting her pants the whole time. Like, she's like the chihuahua that's constantly shaking. I just don't believe that anyone could really think that it's Tara, you know?
Yeah.
There's no way anyone's like acting that much. I would just be like, Tara, your nervous system can't handle this. You're going to get MS. Like, we need to let you go. That would be that'd be me voting at the table. I'd be like, we know you're not a traitor, but the show doesn't really like punish us for sending home faithfuls, so Bye, Tara.
Yeah.
You're not Mark, and I only like Mark, so bye, Tara.
Yeah. Mark's my only friend.
Yeah. That's very Kristen. Anyway, so we go to the round table, and
Round table time.
you know, Alan always has these really dramatic opening lines that reference like government bills and history and stuff. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I wonder what writer's assistant gets the pleasure of writing this opening monologue, or is this like a producer's writing it? Like how this seems, or is he coming up with it on the fly and just like improvising some stuff? I don't even know if this stuff is facts.
I fast forward through his monologues, I'll be honest.
Well, that's fair. That's totally fair.
His like when it's
I was
like
sitting there listening to it, and I'm like, yo, wow.
When I start to hear it down in the valley, I go,
Your favorite.
skip until someone starts talking.
And then it's quiet. It's always quiet for like 10 seconds. No one
Yes.
wants to start. But Tara opens right away, and she tells people that she promises she knows Johnny and that he's not a traitor, and like he's definitely not. And everyone's like, well, how can you say he's definitely not? And then Mark's like,
Right.
if I was here with a coworker of mine, someone was on the show with me, I wouldn't like say I definitely know that they're not a traitor, because I don't know. And poor Tara, she's just like a girl in the mall. Like, just let her be, let her live. She's got a little bit of Portia syndrome here. She's just like talking, and it's unfortunately digging her grave.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, I can promise Johnny's not faithful. And Maura immediately is like, how can you promise that? How can you promise that? She's like, I just know. She's like, I know, but how can you promise?
And then Johnny has to pipe in and save her a little bit.
And then Mark's like, I wouldn't blindly trust someone. And she goes, oh, I blindly trust Johnny. He's like, yeah, I blindly trust her. Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, guys.
I loved it. Oh, no, we blindly
It's
trust
really
each
sweet,
other. We
but-
do.
We blindly trust each other. We've been friends for 11 years. Yeah, no.
Best friends.
I was just like, that's okay, that's really sweet, but you're not helping yourself here.
I think they're just so sweet, and I feel bad. I just hate that they're stressed at all. It makes me feel bad. It's like I expect everyone else to be able to deal with it, but not Johnny and Tara. Like, they're precious. We can't. That's just how I feel. I'm sorry. Call me a hypocrite. I don't care.
No.
Okay, well, it gets real heated here at the round table, because Tara then tells the group that they think that Steven is the traitor, and they reference the gold and how like Steven had these relationships with people, and Steven does such a good job of just like hearing what they're saying about him, responding to it, and then saying, I'm a faithful at the end. Like, I'm 100% faithful. I'm a faithful at the end. Like, and I'm like, we finally get to hear Steven talk, and it's like he might be going home, and it's just devastating because I want to hear him more during the game, because he does such a good job in this episode.
When he was like, I wrote it down, he was like, I understand the argument, but it's weak. And I was like,
I know, I loved when he said it was a weak argument. I loved it. I was like,
what a way to defend yourself. Like, I understand where you're coming from, but it's not right. I'd be like, damn, this girl's deep. Okay.
Yeah, it was, no, he impressed me for sure. I was like, and Steven says that he looks at his conversation with Candace, the one where Dorinda and, was it Tara or was it Kristen were trying to go in the room, and Candace was like, can we have a minute?
It was Dorinda.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and so, but somebody else was with her. Was it Tara?
I think it was either Tara or Maura.
Okay. Well, one of them was with them, and Candace sent them away. And so now they're referencing that conversation that she was having with Candace. And then Steven's like, I don't think that was a random conversation, but it doesn't mean I'm a traitor. I think Candace knew that there was heat on her, and she was getting nervous and going around and looking to see who supported her. That was the conversation. And he's like, I'm 100% faithful. And I'm like, yes, Steven. Like, yes. That's how you do it. Like, Lisa,
too.
take notes. Everyone take notes. This is how you defend yourself at the round table. Because he's doing a good, I at least think he's doing a great job we're biased because we're glamored by his beauty.
And also, he's telling the truth. Lisa was lying, so it also was different.
Also very different. But I thought that was a really great response. And then Kristen jumps in and says she thinks Tara is the traitor. And then Johnny defends himself. And I think Johnny did a good job defending himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when they were like, well, we think it's you because Candace wanted you to get a shield. And he was like, well, I think that's because we were close. And I would have told Candace if I got the shield. Or I would have told her who got it. And he said, just because I play the game poorly doesn't mean I'm a traitor.
Yeah.
So that was funny.
I really like that too. And then Natalie, what?
I think the Kristen thing bothered me because she was like, Tara, all of a sudden, after I tell you I think you're a traitor, I'm up for murder. And I'm like, girl, this is not the first time you were up for murder. You were literally tied to the tree. Like,
I know, they're just looking for they're looking for anything. And Kristen is giving Natalie vibes a little bit, like the paranoia is kind of feeling similar. So it's only fair that now Natalie jumps in and is like, well, it's not, I think it's not random that Lisa gave Steven her gold. And I think they were working together because Steven's a traitor. And then Steven says, the gold was random. I wanted a chance at the dagger. And so I asked people for gold. And I was like, bravo, Steven, again. Wow. This, like, he's there with his little tennis racket and like his little shorts on the court. And like, they're hitting the tennis ball to him. And he's just backhand. He's like, do, backhand, forward hand, like sending it. This is Steven. He's like,
oh, that was good.
Tennis.
That was really good Foley work.
Thank you. And so I'm just like, okay, Steven, you can't, there's no way you could possibly go home with this many articulate responses to everybody in the group. Like, this is sound logic and reasoning. And, you know, I know it's a little he said, she said, but like, I still feel like Steven's saying things with substance and the accusations are just hypotheticals that are being brought up. They're still not evidence. They're just like, assumptions made. And then I have a bravo moment. It's Natalie makes Rob say at the table that he got the dagger. Alan was like, if anyone wants the dagger now. And Natalie goes, because I'm 25% of the people potentially being kicked off tonight, you should tell the group that you have the dagger. And then Rob goes, I have the dagger. And I was like, was this a great move? Was this genius?
This was a bravo moment for me too. And it also came up because I was thinking back to the mission and how the question was, who do the traitors think is most manipulative? And most people said Natalie, and she was like, I'm not manipulative. And I was like, girl, this was manipulative. like that was the correct answer. And I was gagged. When she was like, she was like, I'm the only one in the Dagger Alliance that's up for murder, so you need to just say you have it. And I was like, okay, I can't decide, because either
her logic her reason makes no sense to me.
Yeah. If she gets murdered, then it's gonna look like it was Rob
because she did that. She's saving her butt. So I guess it was smart. But at the end of the day, it's now creating its potential for Rob to get pissed at her. And if he's a faithful and like was seeing who he could trust with that information, and she just broke that trust, then it could really fuck up her game because she doesn't know that he's been keeping her safe this whole time.
And also, like, why did she say that if she thinks that Rob is a faithful? Like, if she wouldn't have said that to keep herself safe because I don't know, because she doesn't think Rob's a traitor. I don't know. I can't decide what it means or why she did that, but you should just say you have it is wild.
It took power away from him. Obviously, information's power, so it took that away.
And he was like, I have it. He like whispered it.
Yeah, he's like, okay. I have the dagger. Who said that?
Yeah, I don't know.
He tries to throw his voice like a ventriloquist. I had the dagger.
I had it. I need Natalie and I had the dagger. Just so you have it.
Oh my god, it was so funny. If you're not watching us on YouTube, you should watch us on YouTube because Thomas, that face, killed me.
I actually look like a ventriloquist dummy, don't
You
I?
literally do.
I just need these things.
Yeah.
Just so you have it. Honestly. I'm the only one not in the alliance, just so you have it.
Look who's here.
Is that good?
Yeah, it was really good. So I thought that was I still thought it was a great moment. I thought that was like Natalie trying to establish like equal the power playing field. But unfortunately, Thomas, our husband, was kicked off the show.
That's why I'm in black. I'm in mourning. Ugh.
What did he say to them when he left too? He was like,
Oh, this was my hell no moment. That his banishment was a hell no moment, but his line where he says, "I'm a faithful. You blew it."
"You blew it."
I was like, yeah.
I loved.
And you blew it.
I
I'm a
love
faithful,
that.
and you blew it.
He's like, "I'm faithful," and you blew it. I'm like, is
And
that his new
Kristen was like-
catchphrase? Is he making a new catchphrase with that one?
Yeah. You
Put
blew it.
it on his T-shirt. I mean,
Steal that design, Peacock.
yeah, Peacock, you can have it. Well,
Rip that off and put it on your shitty merch.
after the roundtable, Natalie goes up to Eric and Rob and apologizes. Because when they're voting,
Hilarious.
Rob was really smart and he was like, I was coming in here intending to vote for Johnny, but I trust Natalie and Natalie makes a great argument. He totally pushed it off on her. And then Natalie's trying to do like established relationship bond afterwards and runs up to them to apologize, to be like, guys, I'm sorry I misguided us. Like, don't Ron Funches me. Like, don't
Right.
Colton me, don't Ron Funches me. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know how we got it wrong. And they were like, it's okay. And Rob's like, yeah, it was a big risk. And like, it did impact the way we voted, but like, I get it. And he kind of like gaslit
"You
her
should be
about it.
sorry."
And I was like,
Yeah.
I fucking cannot with this guy. I cannot.
I can't. I made a note that like when someone is like, "I'm a faithful, you blew it," I feel like as a faithful, I would be looking around at, like, I would be like, "Great, thanks," and like look around to look at everyone's reaction.
Me too.
Because
I wouldn't even be
think-
celebrating. I would be like,
I know, especially if it is a faithful and we're all like downtrodden. I'd be like looking at people's reactions. Remember when Danielle last season was like, and like collapsed to the ground? Like, I'd be like, okay, that bitch is a traitor.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's why
like,
they
I
suspect
think
things at breakfast too. That's why they get like all crazy at breakfast. Like, you reacted too much,
Right.
Well, so Natalie goes and apologizes to them. Then Tara and Johnny, like, I don't know how, Thomas, but they survive.
Yeah.
And honestly, I
made it
was
through.
so happy. Like, this episode for me was this. I was like shitting my pants the whole round table because I didn't want Steven or Johnny to go. I was the whole episode had me stressed, and I just couldn't believe what I was seeing.
In the words of Eric Nam, I need an adult diaper and a helmet. He is weird.
It's really weird. It was a really funny joke. When he said that, I laughed really hard, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
He's like, "Because I'm shitting my pants and my brain's exploding." I was like, "What? Okay. So you need a helmet for that?"
Yes, to keep it all in.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it then.
Yeah. Oh my god, he's so funny. I took a picture of him. His profile was lit a certain way in the turret, and so was Rob's. So I'm going to edit the pictures together. I mean, I'm going to have my sister do it. Edit the pictures together so they're close and looking at each other with that backlighting on just their face, on their profile. And then I'm going to put on a t-shirt, and I'm going to in the middle put the quote, "You look like Harry Potter, but the Slytherin kind."
But the Slytherin kind.
Did you think that would sell perfectly?
I would wait to see if there's any other better quote that will come from it. But
Or maybe just
I like
no
it.
quote and just do their faces.
Yeah. Or just see if there's another quote that will top that. But if not, I like that.
It was so well lit. I was like, I have to take a picture of this. Anyway, Kristen confronts Eric about his silence.
Oh, love.
And oh my God. And Eric, actually, I'm really happy because I think Eric responded perfectly, which was with more silence. I feel like if he responded to her in that moment by speaking like really clearly and like justifying why he was quiet, like he did a little bit of justification, but it wasn't clear and it had lots of and thought gaps and stress looks in it. So it felt like it was all equal. Like it didn't feel like he was putting on an act, but I did notice how quiet he was all day compared to normal.
Yeah.
So she literally pulls him aside and is like, you need to start speaking up. Like, you look like you're just trying to hide.
Yeah, she was like, have your own opinion because it's starting to look like you're hiding everything. And I was like, ooh, Rob is going to use that. Bye, Eric.
I mean, he doesn't need to do anything. He said it. They all love him so much. He doesn't need to even do anything.
I don't, yeah. I mean, I do get it, but I don't get it.
If he took his shirt off in that challenge today, that probably would have really helped, the athleticism of the challenge.
Maybe they are just keeping him around so that they can look at him. That makes sense.
We would do that.
I would, maybe if I...
We would do that.
Sense
We would definitely do that.
If I sense the round table's going after Steven, I'd be like, guys, don't we want to look at him, though, every day?
You guys,
we don't
what
want
are
Steven
we
to
gonna
not
do
be
without
around
a cashmere
to look
sweater
at.
to cuddle up to?
Guys,
Remember when he
come on,
rejected
you don't
Jam?
Remember, come on.
Remember when he wouldn't hold Jam's hand?
Remember how he looked picking up all those statues? Come on. Guys, remember when he lit that torch and stabbed it? Remember all of his gold? Come on. Steven.
He's faithful. Keep him.
He's
Come
faithful.
Come on.
Guys, Steven, you know what, Steven? You know what? Okay, let's keep Steven tonight, and then Steven, you can come to my room, okay? And make sure you don't get murdered, okay?
Steven, you don't need to hold his hand. You don't.
You don't.
You can do whatever you want.
Anything.
Whatever makes you happy. Guys, he's faithful. You blew it.
You blew it. Oh my god, that would be me if he was like, you would be like, yeah, you all really did.
I'll call you, Steven.
Yeah.
Steven, I wrote
Bye,
you a letter.
Steven.
I'll slide it under your door.
I was faithful to you the whole time. You guys really blew it. You really, but this is shocking.
Natalie,
how dare you?
you knew Steven was a good guy.
Rob, use the dagger to send me home because I have to go home to Steven.
Rob, now you got 3 of us. That's what Rob said on Love Island when they voted off the girl he was like matched with. He was like, now you got 3 of us. And then he stayed. So he threatened the whole group and snapped at them and cried and was like, you're sending the girl home that I like. Now you got 3 of us. I'm going home too. Meh. And all the guys were so upset. And then he's like, okay, well, I'm going to stay. And then he stayed. He didn't go.
That sounds right.
Well, what a crazy episode. There was so much. And going into next week's, going into next week's is even crazier. I feel like I have to give my surfing shift up and go to beaches again because it's just so much fun to watch them there.
This is the episode before the finale.
No.
My God. Yeah, there's only 2 left in the reunion. Did you see that they have taped the reunion? Have you seen what maybe went down?
I heard that allegedly Colton stormed off the set, which would make perfect sense. I mean, he wanted a housewife. The whole season he's calling out housewives. He's definitely seen the housewives before, even if it's not Lisa Rinna's season. And storming off set is like the most ultimate diva housewife thing to do. Clearly he wants to role play the fantasy. But also, if his publicist and his agent were being like, we're not going to even come to the reunion because of all the cyberbullying that's happened to our client. And then he's like, fine, I'll come on it, but you have to pay me more. And no one can bring up I'm a stalker. And then Lisa brings it up. Duh, housewife. And then it comes up and then he storms off. I mean, that's actually, I kind of expect that to happen. That doesn't seem shocking to me.
Oh my God, I forgot Michael Rappaport is going to be there.
It's more shocking to me that he showed up to the reunion than that he stormed off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I feel like you would want to control your narrative, though. But I don't know. It's kind of on NBC for casting him, you know? Like,
Still, I know.
Yeah.
I don't know what they expected.
I can't wait to see Monet, though. I'm excited.
I can't wait to hear how they all read him. It's going to be really fun. And hopefully we're happy with the outcome of the show. I mean...
Probably not.
Well,
like,
let's talk about Traitors.
Like
oh, sorry.
I was gonna say my only outcome I would be happy with is if Tara and Johnny won at the end, but they're not going to. So, yeah.
I know.
Who do you? Oh.
What?
We keep doing this. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say my second happiest outcome would probably be Eric and Rob winning together. Just because, like, I feel like this whole season I've wanted the Traitors to win. And I feel like the Faithfuls I like the most, at least this episode, was Johnny and Tara. And I've loved Johnny the whole season. But I'm just worried that the heat is too hot on him. And it's going to be too easy for them to get him out and guarantee that the rest of them go to the finale now.
Yeah, they're not going to make it. Yeah, but I mean, like, even if they got the Traitors, like, if they got Eric and Rob, who was that? Kristen, Mark, and Maura, like, I don't like them enough to be like, yeah, you did it. And Natalie.
Nah.
No.
So I guess we're rooting for Eric and Rob.
I don't know about we. I don't know what I want.
Okay, you think about it. Speaking of, are there any Traitors in jeopardy right now, Thomas?
I think both of them, but more Eric.
Yeah.
Because of Kristen's call out.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think Rob has a little bit of heat on him because now everyone knows that he has the dagger, and it's like, how is he going to use that? And that would be very telling on his strategy. So he has to be very smart with that.
I think he's fine. I think he's going to come up with a little excuse if someone asks him about it. I don't think Kristen really thinks that Eric's a traitor, actually. I think she's just like, you're not going to get to come to the finale if you don't contribute. So you better start contributing, instead of like, you could be a traitor. I don't think they think he's a traitor.
I don't know. She was like, I don't trust him. She like went to that.
Yeah, I know she said that, but I also think that could be her like winking to Mark, like, we don't want to bring him with us to the finale. I don't trust him.
Yeah.
I think she's going around and marking the people that she doesn't want to win the game with. And making it clear so that at the end she can literally at the fire pit be like, someone here voted that we're not done yet, so let's vote again on the chalkboard. And Mark knows who she's talking about because she's gone and told him the people she doesn't trust in this way. And it looks authentic, and it looks like it, has history. She's planting seeds. I see it. Anyone burning... Oh, sorry.
Also, that would be cool if, like, she and Mark just won and, like, just went down to the two of them because they were like, yeah, I trust you. Like, that would be smart. They should, if they go to the end, they should just take it down to the two of them. Even if they think Rob's a faithful, just be like, but he doesn't, we just like the two of us.
Did you see season 2 with Phaedra and CT and...
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like how CT and the other challenge girl went down to the finale. Trishelle, I know. Yeah, that's her name. Already forgot. Anyone burning too bright? Tara.
Tara and Johnny, yeah.
Yeah, Tara and Johnny. And then we know Eric was laying a little too low because Kristen screamed at him. Anyone's ego causing them to self-destruct?
I'm thinking maybe Rob. Potentially.
Yeah. He was comfortable this episode.
Yeah. He was like laying down. He was laughing during the challenge. He said, yeah, I think the traitor did this, but I don't think it worked. That whole moment with Maura, I need her to come through and Gabby Windy his ass, or
I know. That's what they make me want, but I don't know if it's coming.
I don't think it is. Yeah.
Anyone have
we
any...
never talked.
What?
Oh, go ahead.
No, go for it.
We never talked. Who do you think is going to be murdered, or who would you murder?
Tonight? Kristen.
Natalie, Johnny, Tara, Kristen. Okay.
Because I would murder Kristen because Rob is pretty much going to spell out to Eric who they're going to murder. And Eric doesn't know that Kristen said to Rob and Mark how much she doesn't trust Eric.
No, he does know.
What?
Rob told him.
Oh, he did? I missed that.
Yeah, in the turret, yeah.
Damn it, because he should have kept that to himself, because then they could have killed Kristen. It would have made Eric look guilty and he wouldn't have known. And then, I mean, he would have known because she did call him out in the kitchen in front of people, but I also don't think I think he could persuade Eric to do it. And be like, it's so obvious. No one would think it was you because it was so obvious. Eric?
Right. I think it should be Kristen because, well, if I was playing as Rob, I don't know why I'm thinking that. Then I would kill Kristen to implicate Eric. And I think they need the buffer of Tara and Johnny. But then if you murdered one of them, you could pin it on the other one.
Yeah.
To be like, see, they would never do that, but like they would because they're a traitor. I don't know, but
they talked about that in the turret. They did talk about that in the turret.
Yeah, but then you need the cushion of 2 roundtables, they're 2 safe.
Right.
Votes.
I wouldn't go for them because they're like basically as good as banished now. I would try to eliminate someone who has another strategic alliance, and in this case, it's Mark and Kristen. The next most serious alliance to me is Mark and Kristen.
Yeah.
So I would need to get rid of one of them. Maybe it would be Mark, and then I could pin Kristen as a potential traitor.
Although it might be smart to eliminate Natalie, because then Rob will look like, oh man, that was my girl.
I think that Natalie trusts Rob too much to get rid of her. She's a tool for Rob. She's no threat.
Okay, I think you're right. I think Kristen's the move.
Yeah. Or Mark.
Oh, he's not up though. He's not up for it.
Oh, that's right. Okay, no, then just Kristen. Sorry.
Sorry, girl. You can pack your knives and go.
Yeah.
Shady.
Good reference.
Thank you.
Well, like the cascading cliffs of the Scottish Highlands. Is anyone in the castle experiencing trust erosion?
Yeah, Kristen and Eric.
Kristen's trust in Eric.
Everyone's trust in Johnny and Tara.
Damn.
Especially
So
after
do you
that
think they should have
challenge.
just came into the house like being friends, full on friends?
No, because I think they still would have they would have been like, that's an alliance, break them up.
Yeah.
I think they did the right thing, but I think now that one of them is implicated, they're still like, to say you blindly trust someone at the table.
I know, Tara,
not a good
really,
idea.
come on, girl. She should just let Johnny take the lead on talking. I know she was trying to help, but he's much better at the round table.
They only survived because the traitors voted for Steven.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Mark and Kristen both voted for Tara.
The villagers are marching up the stairs, Dr. Frankenstein, and they have torches, and they're very angry, and they call for Tara and Johnny's heads.
Oh, something, I'll be heartless killing her. It's from Wicked.
Oh, I didn't even... Okay.
It's okay. That wasn't a good reference. I didn't know all the words.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
It was massaged out of me. I am so zen right now.
I love that. Well, I'm going to leave you zen because this wraps up this week's episode of Bravoholics Anonymous. Thanks everyone for attending your weekly meeting. What is happening?
Yeah. Sorry, I just saw a large piece of dandruff in my hair.
Okay. Let's try it.
Okay.
Let's try ending the
try that
episode again. Keep your dandruff flakes to a minimum. Okay.
Frosted Flakes, yep. Okay.
Well, this wraps up our meeting this week. Bravoholics, thank you for attending. Thank you, Thomas, for attending.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you back at the castle next week as we get even closer to the finale of season 4 of US Traitors. And if you enjoyed the episode, please like and subscribe to the podcast. Leave us a review. We need your help. Share it with a friend. Tell us we're cool. We really need the validation.
Share it with your Johnny or Tara. you know?
Share it with your Johnny or Tara, or maybe your Eric. And,
Oh, yeah. Who's Thomas? I don't know who Thomas is. I'm Eric Nam.
that's right, Eric Nam. Can you give me a testimonial for the show, please, Eric?
It's really good. I knew what was going on the whole time. Yeah.
Great. And Eric will be back next week, too. So see you next week at Bravoholics Anonymous. And as always, keep your champagne cold and your taglines iconic. See ya.